Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. So I recently did a video and I asked y'all, hey, what would you do if, in the middle of the night, your front and your back door simultaneously crash in? Somebody's kicking your doors. And then I asked you for your comments, and thank you, many of you commented. And the reason I wanted you to comment was not some scheme to get more hits. I'm not going to be doing this a lot. But to have some knowledge sharing going back and forth, because a lot of y'all know things. A lot of y'all have ideas that other people, including me, wouldn't necessarily come up with on our own. And I can already see the conversation going back and forth in the comments. So thank you very much. It gives us all something to think about, all something more perhaps that we can learn. And I'm all about constant self-improvement, right? All right, so somebody, excuse me, somebody said, hey, Pastor Joe, what are your comments on the comments? And I thought, you know what, that's a pretty good idea for a video. So here we go. The first one is, some of y'all are fighting the problem. I realize that psychologically, that's a scary proposition to think of your front and your back door getting kicked in, and people storming in when you're dead sound asleep. And to cope with that, whether you want to admit it or not, a lot of people say, oh, well, that could never happen to me. I have dogs outside. I have alarms outside. I live somewhere where that would never happen. Yada, yada, yada. That's fighting the problem. You're not going to get better by fighting the problem. The scenario was your front and your back door just got kicked in at 2 o'clock in the morning. What do you do? I have a pack of 6 Belgian Malinois. I don't think anybody said that, so I shouldn't be stepping on any toes. Okay, well, maybe the bad guys have suppressed weapons, or poison, or a dog in heat. I don't know. Maybe they have a ray gun that sucks your dogs into space. What do you do if they get through that level of defense without you waking up? It's just an exercise for you to go through worst case scenario planning, because that's pretty much a worst case, right? Go from condition white to battle. And so there you go. Don't fight the problem. Put yourself in the situation. Now, what would you do? Maybe you're spending the night at somebody else's house and it happens, right? So to those of you who said it would never happen to me, go back and rethink it. It'll be good for you. There were a lot of people who answered to the effect of, wow, well, I guess I would, or I think I would probably. If that's your response, then that means you're going to die in your bed because you don't have a plan. And the whole purpose, and I'm not giving you crap, right? The whole purpose of this mental exercise was so that those of you who don't have a plan come up with one. Use this concept, scenario, whatever, to come up with a plan. What would you do if? Because then you could use that plan mildly modified, a fragmentary order, if you will, to deal with other situations that would be similar. And so if you said, well, I think I would, or I might, that means you haven't decided what you're going to do. And so what I encourage you all to do is come up with a plan. Sit down and think about it. What would I really do? I would do this. Okay, once you think you have a plan, war game it. Go actually just do it. Don't use a loaded gun. Unload your gun, unload your gun, unload your gun. Don't do it when you've got alcohol in your system or anything like that. Be very, very safe. But, heck, if the husband's the one shooting, the wife can pretend she's the intruder. And you just lay down. You can do it at 2 in the afternoon and say, okay, so I'm laying here in bed. Get under the covers, because that matters, right? Make it as real as you can. And then have your wife say, bang, I'm banging in the front door. All right, now start going through your physical actions. What would you do? Have her, do different things. Have her bum rush the bedroom or something. Once you do that, you'll have a plan. You'll test your plan. You'll modify your plan. That's okay. Modify the plan. Get the best plan that works for you. And then once you have that down, start practicing it. Start drilling it. Start inviting friends over to play the role of intruder, or have your wife and you take turns playing the role of intruder. Get some airsoft guns. My wife and I airsoft each other doing different drills in our house. Airsoft's a great tool for that. Do that kind of thing, so then you'll know what you're going to do at 2:30 in the morning. You're going to default to your lowest level of training, which is hopefully you've trained for this scenario, and things will go okay. Instead of you waking up and going, where's my gun? Many of you, all right, let me make sure I'm hitting what I need to hit. Okay, yeah, so you got to know what you're going to do, and the way you're going to know is by practicing it, turning it into a drill, and drilling it, drilling it, drilling it, until it's like a fire drill, until you know what you're doing. You have done fire drills, right? Your kids know how to get out of the house? Do they know? Have they practiced going out the window? Have they practiced crawling across the floor? You got to do those drills. Okay, some things you can do. I'm not going to give you everything you can do. But some things you can do is harden your house. Many, many, many of you said, I would get up and lock my bedroom door. If you don't have children in the home now, you should be sleeping behind a locked bedroom door. Your bedroom door should be shut and locked. If you have kids, I understand not having a locked door. Kid wants to run across with a nightmare or something, come to your bedroom, got it. But if you're home alone, your bedroom door should be locked. Your bedroom door should be a solid core door. It should be a hardcore door. You can replace your door. It should not be a door that easily kicks in. You know, one kick to the doorknob, boom. Your door should go, oops. You know, your exterior doors and locks should be good. Your house should be locked. You should have deadbolts. They should go into real wood, you know, with steel strike plates and long screws. All that very basic stuff. But your house should be hardened. Nobody should be able to get into your house without making a lot of noise, which is why, you know, I kind of assumed that for most of y'all. And I said it's BAM! Your door kicks in. But it should be hard to get in. It would be really nice if the first kick, the second kick didn't breach your door. You know, it took more than that to get in. That gives you more time. So that's one thing. Alarms and lights and solar lights and all that, that's all good, and that can deter people. Cameras are awesome. I am not the guy to talk to on cameras. We have some cameras on Shofar Mountain, but nothing like the sophistication I would like to get to, and there's some cool cameras out there. There's cameras where you could just hit a button on your laptop next to your bed and see your whole exterior of your house. Right, you know, see what's going on. Cameras inside the house, you can see people moving, and I don't think they're that expensive. If you have the means and the wherewithal and you want to do that, that's probably something really good to investigate is cameras. Harden your exterior, harden your interior. Yeah, make it hard to get in. You know, make it hard to get out once they do get in. That's kind of discouraging too for people. Here's something. Most houses, I heard a lot of you say, oh, that would be terrible because my bedroom's right next to this door, or my kids are between the door and me, or whatever. Most houses are designed so that the front door kind of comes into a living room or a kitchen type area, and the bedrooms are usually in a wing or down a hallway or something like that. You can buy a decorative ironwork grill, you know, a decorative metal grill door that you can mount in your hallway. That you can leave it open during the day, and then at night you can close it and lock it, literally lock it. And so you can see through it, you can shoot through it, but people can't bust in through your front door and run right into the bedrooms, and that buys you a lot of time right there. Something worthwhile to look into if your house will support that. If you have stairway going up to the bedroom sleeping area, putting a grate at the bottom of the stairway. Now, fire is a real thing, and having to be able to get out is a real thing. And so you would have to practice that. How are you going to unlock it? Do all the kids know how to do that? Yada, yada, yada. So make sure you do that. Lots of people said, I'll reach over and grab my XD or my Glock or my 45 or my, you know, great pleasure in telling everybody specifically what handgun you have in your nightstand table. Okay, pistol, fine. Pistols are handy. They're easy to tote around and stuff. I submit to you that a rifle or a shotgun would be a better choice. I used to keep a loaded shotgun right next to my bed until I read a horrifying story about a man who had a loaded shotgun next to his bed, and when his teenage daughter came home at 2 o'clock in the morning, bad guys were outside in the bushes or something, and they grabbed her and came in the house with her. And so there's a commotion. Dad wakes up. He grabs his shotgun. He's at the top of the stairs looking down. There's a thug with a gun, you know, to his daughter's head. And he's saying, drop the gun, as he's moving towards the dad with the daughter and the pistol. And he's got a shotgun. I know about scalloping rounds. I know all about that. I also know the wad goes where it wants to. Maybe a little bit advanced for some of you. If you don't understand it, don't worry about it. Bottom line is a shotgun is not a good thing to do a hostage shoot situation with. And when I read that, I got a little bit horrified because that's what I was planning on doing, was just using a shotgun. And I switched to an AR. because I can put a bullet right where I want it at household distances, no problem. So something to think about. Over-penetration, certainly something to think about. You need to hit what you're aiming at, and you need to have your angles already figured out. I no longer have children in the home, but everywhere we lived, we would actually put our children's beds in such places that if I was firing on intruders in the hallway from my bedroom door, I would not be shooting my children in their bed. We would actually move their beds around their room with that in mind. Think about fields of fire. Think about your neighbors, those kinds of things. You know, the last thing in the world you want to do is hurt an innocent person. Yeah, know where your kids sleep. Oh, something else with the kids. If you have children, teach them a duck and cover drill. We used to say Rumpelstiltskin. And if we said, Rumpelstiltskin, the kids would all hide. And we'd shown them where to hide. And it was all down low. And they wouldn't come out until we gave them a code word to come out, which was Cinderella. We'd say, Cinderella, and that meant they could come out. If we said, hey, I mean it, come out, really, come out, they wouldn't come out. And we made it a game for them. We didn't scare them. And we never had to use it, praise the Father. But, you know, if you have to, you don't want your kids running down the hallway right at the time you're engaging the bad guy. Right, and so give your kids a duck and cover drill. Make it fun. Make it a game for them, and that will work. Hopefully. Dun 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 dun. Know where your kids sleep. Duck and cover. I had one more thing in here I wanted to talk to you guys about. Oh, couple people. You might have been serious. You might have been just, oh, wow, this is what I'm gonna do. Talked about counterattack drills. Hey, a counterattack is an awesome technique and an awesome tactic. Have you practiced it? If you do it right, it's awesome. If you do it wrong, it's horrifyingly bad. Right? So I just say, hey, if you've got a good counterattack drill, good for you. Rehearse it and then throw Murphys in it. You know, throw unexpected things in it. Like I'm going out my back window and coming around. Oops, there's the guy who's standing in the yard by the tree keeping a lookout for neighbors. You know, you got to deal with him now, and now there's people in the house that heard you shooting. Not me, I got my suppressed whatever. Okay, hey, whatever, man. But drill it. Practice these things. Drill these things. The whole purpose of this drill was not for me to point fingers at you, not for me to make you feel bad, but for y'all to learn, and everybody has a different level of learning, and everybody can get better. And I submit to you that practicing, drilling what you think you're going to do, if you already have a plan, that'll make you better. And if you haven't drilled it, if you don't have a plan, get yourself a plan. Please. Work on that. Hopefully you'll never have to use it, but if you do, when it's all done and you're done with the shakes, maybe you'll think back and go, hey, Pastor Joe, thanks. What would I do? You know, I know somebody's going to say that. What would you do, Pastor Joe? It's very simple, and this is what I'm willing to put out on the internet. I would arm myself, and I would prepare to repel boarders. I know that sounds very pirate-like instead of Viking-like, but there you go. All right, hey, I'll see you out there. I hope the video was helpful to y'all. I hope you do something with it. Take the knowledge you learned, take the ideas you got, take them, use them, get better at what you do. All right, I'll see you out there.